Hey guys, and welcome to Schematics Special. This time we want to talk about Starmancer, and for that we once again invited Tyler, programmer of Starmancer, and he came and brought something really special with him. But maybe he should explain what we're gonna see today.
Hello. So like I said, my name's Tyler. I'm the programmer for Starmancer, and what we want to show off today is a really early build of the game. And we want to show off building, the palette system, placing objects. And I really want to stress that because it's such an early build, you'll most certainly see bugs. I'm sure that there will be things that don't work, but again, it's very early. The user interface, for example, is completely placeholder. But again, in the finished game, the UI is going to be completely different. Most of the bugs will hopefully be gone. Experience will be a little more streamlined. So Starmancer is a Dwarf Fortress inspired space station building game. So what that really means is that you're just building a space station in space. And you have colonists that you're trying to keep alive, so you have to provide them with oxygen. You have to make sure that the temperature on the station is livable, that they have food, that they can sleep, right? And all those sorts of things.
What did you just build, Blind?
I just built a Starmancer core. So I guess we should ask what a Starmancer core is.
Right. So something that we really want to have in Starmancer is a setting that feels interesting. So in Starmancer, there's sort of a backstory, and what a Starmancer actually is, it's a human who has irreversibly fused their brain and body into a machine. So that's you. And so the core is actually the physical embodiment of like your avatar in the game. So if this is destroyed by pirates, you lose. So we wanted the players to sort of care, if pirates destroy their station, because they have a real stake in it.
So it's some sort like the base building in early strategy games.
Right, it's your home base, yeah. And you want to protect it, right? So you want to put your turrets there, you want to put the armored walls there. And so ideally, it's sort of the heart of your station.
So early on, would it be very vulnerable? And that's something that you need to immediately deal with, because we do have armored wall. I think it's, which one is this? Armored walls, these ones. So is this something I should be putting here?
In terms of vulnerability, what we've done is, one of the pillars that we designed this game around is the idea of consequences, or maybe cause and effect. And so when something bad happens to you, we want it to have a reason, right? It's not fun if pirates attack your core and you lose just because there was a random roll of the dice and it rolled pirates and now all the pirates kill you and you're dead. So what that means is pirates will attack you if you look like you're an easy target, and it also looks like they could get a lot of resources from you. So early in the game, you're not going to have anything, so pirates aren't going to attack you. So immediately, no, it doesn't matter that much if you build armored walls. But eventually, as you become more profitable, as you have more resources, you have a sort of stuff that pirates might want to take, you should definitely consider placing armored walls or turrets, in your core room.
So do you always start with the core at a certain position, or is it free to build?
So you can never actually place your core, because the core it's you, so it has to be there always. We're not sure exactly what the starting station will look like. We know that somehow it'll feature your core. We don't know if the core that you're seeing right now will be the core you start with. Maybe you'll start with something a little more simple, and then over time you can upgrade it to be a little more grand. That would certainly be interesting. But at a minimum, you'll start with some sort of core and some resources, some basic generators maybe.
Talking about generators, Blind, you just built 2 generators, is that right?
These are power generators, I think. And we have several different options of generators. So what are the options that we're going to have, and what are their different purposes, at least when the game is more complete?
So right now, there's, I think, 3 types of generators in the game. There's a standard generator that you built. There's that reactor that's maybe some sort of nuclear reactor. And then there is the solar panel. So we're very green, very eco-friendly in Starmancer. And actually, so something interesting about solar panels is that your station has a physical location in the solar system, and the closer you are to your sun, the more efficient your solar panels will be. So it's just, I don't know, something sort of interesting, because what we want is, we want the player to we don't want them to play every single game the exact same way. So if in one game they happen to choose to be closer to the sun, well, hey, maybe this game I can use solar panels, and in a previous game I couldn't.
So what I kind of wonder, what is the most important thing to build?
Probably, so at a bare minimum, you want your colonists to not die. So probably the most basic thing that you need to build is your oxygen machine that'll, you know, recycle oxygen so your colonists don't suffocate immediately. So really it's anything that makes the atmosphere more livable. So you want to build your oxygen machine. Also, you want to place some heaters because otherwise everybody will freeze to death and die. Basically anything that prevents people from immediately dying. If you go to build object,
build object,
you can clear that log file, by the way, and then it'll go away. Then you don't have to.
Oh, clear. Right. Cool.
Yeah, that's at the very top, I think. Where it says heater Griffin. It's a stupid joke I always say, but there, it's in the top middle. It looks like I don't know what it looks like. It's next to a toilet.
Here,
to the left
cool.
of a toilet. Yeah.
Yeah.
If you press middle mouse, it'll rotate. Yeah.
That might have been why
So
they died initially.
Place that heater. Yeah, that could be it. Place that heater somewhere. It has to be connected with a wire, so it doesn't matter where you can place it wherever you want.
Okay. Do I need one in every room, or?
So atmosphere flows, but things like doors will stop atmosphere flowing. So if you want every room to be livable, you'll need a heater in every single room.
So it does need maybe connected to a wire, according to this.
Yeah, it does. And you can also place wall vents if you want atmosphere to flow between two rooms, but you still want a door. So that would be useful in something like a bedroom where you have like a lot of shared walls. If you right click, it'll cancel whatever you're doing.
Infrastructure. Wire, that's what I wanted. I think I've got wires running to about here, so let's go.
It looks like you do because it's running. So you can just build one wire between the two. Looks like you built it in the wall maybe, but that still works.
I've been hiding them into the walls because I'm
For
crazy.
aesthetics.
It's probably going to be a problem later because currently there's no way of showing where the wires are, but just for people watching, I'll do that. So there's the little cable there. So now I'm going to...
Exactly. What would you recommend as next step?
So if you were playing for real, probably what you would want to do for next step. So again, I don't know what your starting station would be. We would start you with more than just with nothing, right? Right now you're starting with nothing at all. You could build bedrooms. Your colonists will need somewhere to sleep. Bedrooms are always sort of fun to build.
Further over this way and then come back and around. I'm trying to build this station in a creative way, but also keeping things very nice and big and open and separate so it's easy to see. I'm assuming that you wouldn't expand this quickly normally. Like you'd probably have some sort of starting room and resources that you'd be starting with to like go and build outwards, right?
Yeah, that's correct. So normally things have a build cost, and I think it's metal maybe. But if you look in the top left, your dev mode is currently on, so you're just free building, because otherwise you'd have to wait for colonists to place everything, and also you don't have any resources, so they couldn't ever build anything. But yeah, normally you couldn't just expand freely like this. Ordinarily, your colonists have to actually place things, and you need the raw resources required to do it as well. Yeah. And you can just hold and drag to build.
And then I can build over top of these walls or paint them and make them look better. So we can do like a little tunnel thing over here. I'll just knock down those walls later. Do like a tunnel going that way. Okay. Yeah, this works. Let's expand that out a little bit. And then if I press L again, that comes back. Cool. And then we can go into delete walls, knock down all these. Oops, knock down a little bit too much, but that's okay.
That's all right.
Yeah. We'll go over to there.
Now your colonists
will get sucked down to space.
Yeah, it'd be fantastic.
Good job, Blind.
Ragdoll physics confirmed.
That would be hilarious.
It's so unnecessary. It'd be so funny though.
It would be so unnecessary. I don't know how that would work with sprites though.
Let's make a custom engine for that. Hey, you magically fixed the lights, so that's good, I guess.
I deleted the wall. And then
the magically fixed them all. Perfect.
Cool. So I kind of like
to reiterate that this is a very early build, by the way.
This is like, as I said earlier, the most alpha. Like, this is essentially just a building sandbox with character. Okay, I don't have any oxygen. Right, yes, I need to make a vent. They don't currently do anything. Like nothing.
The infrastructure?
Building infrastructure. There we go. Vent. Cool. Air vent. That's
you put the wrong vent, yeah.
Wrong vent.
It's not vent, it's air vent. Duh.
Okay, and then I can go this way. I can pop one into this room. I can go this way and pop one there. So is there a limit to the amount of oxygen this thing can produce right now currently, or is it just... Oops, I don't
yeah,
want to
so
put
it
oxygen in
needs
space.
something like... Okay, well, the oxygen machine converts carbon dioxide into oxygen.
Okay.
Once it runs out of carbon dioxide, it can't produce anything. And there's also an upper cap to the amount of oxygen it can produce each second or something like that. I don't know what the actual numbers are, but there's a limit. So as you have more colonists, or as you have a bigger station, you'll have to place more of these. So you can't just place one and then, you know, be good.
Okay. And I'm sure later down the line you'll have visual representations. Also, I'm not gonna place colonists until the end because I'm scared they're all just gonna die.
They will probably all die anyway, but
yeah. I don't want them to die immediately. So
can you please go back into the air vent overlay? I would almost say.
Yes, I can.
If you right click, you can just cancel. You don't have to worry about
So,
actually placing something.
Blind here built 2 air vents in the generator room. Is that necessary, or is it just like you need one in a room, or is it like it needs more if the room is big?
So atmosphere flows between tiles. So if you had one big connected section of rooms without any doors, the atmosphere would eventually flow and equalize through all of it. So he could have placed just one, you know, exit air vent if you wanted to. But, you know, having multiple, you know, there's nothing wrong with it either.
Yeah. I think in this case, I just kind of forgot that I'd put one there already.
Yeah. And also eventually you might place doors or something that will...
Yeah, that's what I'm working towards right now.
Create that sort of airlock. There's a whole section for doors on the left side. They're sort of filtered
yeah, lost that. Okay. So what doors should I use here? Like, are there different uses for these doors, or...
Right now, all the doors except the armored doors are the exact same. They just look different. And I think the only difference with the armored door is it takes slightly longer for pirates to hack it or something like that.
Okay. So we'll just use basic doors for...
Yeah, you don't have to rotate it. It'll magically snap correctly.
Oh, really? Okay. That was just force of habit.
Don't forget an air vent in your floor.
I think I've got that already.
Or everybody will die, but whatever.
Air vent. Yeah, we're good.
Yeah, you're good.
I wonder if I can...
I think that... Actually, if you click on your oxygen machine, you can see how much carbon dioxide it has, I think. Try clicking on it. Press stock. Into tab up there. Yeah, see that? There's a number on the left side.
That one?
And that says something. I can't read what it says, but...
99999.
Oh, no, don't... You're close.
This little one?
Yeah, so you have a lot, apparently, of carbon dioxide. This gave it like 1 billion or something.
Once again, to reiterate, this is not representative of any kind of product.
This is the final build, guys.
Yeah.
This is what you can expect when you buy the game. 100% polished.
Okay, so let's put in some floors over here. Build floor. So we want things to look a little bit nicer. So, you know, we'll go with basic floor because I'm a generous.
And if you'll notice, when you place the floors, there's a tile system, and the floor sprites change based on, you know, the adjacent floors around them,
which is really cool. I like that. So let's throw in some basic walls in here. Or wait, no. Do I have to paint walls? How do I do this? Paint wall. That's what I'm looking for. Test paint.
I don't know what that is. You should just place it. I don't know what it is. But hold left shift and you'll place like everything. Apparently it shows the direction. I don't know what it is. That's good though. That's I don't know.
So that's like kind of the default. We've got dark. Let's go through some different options here.
No, it doesn't work that well right now for exterior walls because they don't have like inner corners, and it was designed around interior corners. But this is like the holding shift to place it was like super just quick and dirty. Yeah.
Okay, well we'll just paint the wall here. Let's go with I like the fancy walls.
Gotta have fancy colonists.
Windows.
The beautiful windows, which are actually a wall paint. Right now, anyway.
Don't tell anyone.
Yeah.
Can I put this on the outside too? Okay, it's fine. I'm sold on the illusion.
I mean, in the end, there'll probably be an object that changes the wall paint. Like doors, for instance, change wall paints. Probably don't really notice, but if you were to zoom in on the doors, they're changing the wall paints on the walls they're on into something a little different. It's kind of hard to tell because of their foundation. is next to it. It looks kind of the same, but they're actually changing it. So that's what the actual windows would do, is they would just change the wall paint of the walls.
Okay.
Left control, that's what it is.
So we were building
a bedroom or something?
Bedrooms, or just like kind of a communal area. I'm still trying to, like, this is the problem that I'm running into already. I can't decide which, like, walls I want. Window
Most
fancy.
important question.
So white walls, that's like a hospital or something.
I like the dark walls, by the way.
The dark walls?
Yeah, I like them.
Beautiful dark walls.
I don't know why, but I like them.
Industrial floor, mesh floor, sterile tiles, kitchen, rustic carpet.
Yeah, sterile floors can't have children.
So for a second here, let's pretend Blind built already the bedrooms. What would be the next step? I wonder.
Probably you want to focus on feeding your colonists. So you'd want to build farms and a cafeteria / kitchen.
So obviously, taking care of the basic needs of everybody.
Yeah, right. So the first thing you want to do is make sure nobody dies immediately. So you want to focus on the atmosphere, and the next thing you want to make sure is no one dies sort of in the short-ish term, right? So everybody has enough food. And then maybe you want to start caring about things like if they're happy, but they need to stay alive first.
I mean,
also, if you don't place beds, the colonists will just sleep on the floor, and they get like a minor morale penalty if they sleep on the floor. And I think they sleep for a little bit longer too.
I'm just trying.
If you press the build menu button, it'll hide the build menu, which is sometimes nice. Or if you press P, it'll get rid of all that stuff. Oh, L, my bad. I type into Vorak, so for me, it's a P key, but for you, it's the L key.
That works.
That's funny.
So now we've got a heater in here, so hopefully people don't die.
If you click on the table, it should tell you don't click on well, I think the heater is fine. You click on that too.
So the heater's telling me it's 9 degrees Celsius in here. It's pretty cool.
Yeah, the heater's trying to get up to 15.
Okay.
But the heat's sort of distributing across the entire room right now.
Oh, interesting. I love little intricate systems like this. I love it when you get various objects that interact with different objects, because then you have unexpected outcomes, and unexpected outcomes are always the best. So should I be hiding items like this? Like, will that have like a ugly look to it? Like, will that upset the colonists if they see that in any way?
Right now, no. Every object actually has the potential of having a bunch of different modifiers when colonists see them. And I think the modifiers right now are something like a morale modifier, radiation modifier, security modifier. Basically, as a colonist walks around the station, the things they sort of see, they'll remember certain aspects about it. And then later on, they might get upset because there's not enough feeling of security in the station. There's not enough feeling of beauty in the station. But specifically right now, the heaters don't have any, negative consequences for placing them. And what we want to do eventually is add a heating duct, and we'll probably combine that with the air ducts so that you can just have a heater somewhere instead of having an individual heater everywhere.
Also, just for aesthetics, I'm going to go over here and I'm going to grab this and I'm going to see if I can place it on one of these walls.
What'd you just grab?
The wall object.
I don't know what that is.
It's graffiti. Or it's
if you go to place cosmetic.
Place cosmetic. What's that? There we go. Ooh.
There's all sorts of graffitis in there. So the way it works right now is it randomly will pick one. I don't know why it doesn't want to go on that one wall, one spot. It's just like, I don't want. You can't make me. So there's a bunch of different sprites. It'll cycle through them. You can delete those if you press delete object, or if you place another graffiti on top, it'll overwrite it.
That's neat. So why would there be graffiti in the game normally?
So ordinarily, well, we probably won't allow players to manually place graffiti. I guess maybe if players want to, we certainly could let them though. So as morale goes down, at first your colonists will refuse to work if they're not happy enough. But eventually they'll sort of form a mutiny against you. And one of the first symptoms of that is creating graffiti. And what we want to do is we want the player to be able to see problem areas of the colony, sort of at a glance, so sort of as feedback. So if you see an area of the colony that has graffiti in it, you'll know immediately that there's some sort of problem with the colonists there, and there may be troubled colonists. So if you're having a bedroom with a lot of graffiti, that could be where you place your security checkpoints, or that could be where you sort of give more attention to. So anyway, so the reason that you would see graffiti in the real game is because colonists are placing them because they hate you. And they wish you were dead. Yes. And if the mutiny gets bad enough, or if morale gets low enough, they will actively try to destroy your core.
Oh, okay. So that's actually a very nice point. What can destroy your core? Obviously pirates, we talked about that earlier, but also your own colonists. Are there any other threats to it?
So right now, the only things that can destroy your core right now are pirates and your own colonists. And also, I guess factions can send almost like like a hit squad if you make them mad enough. Because we have factions in the game. We have a simple diplomacy system. And if you make them upset enough, they'll actually send people to attack you. And so right now, it's basically humans can destroy your core. So colonists, pirates, and enemy factions. And actually, pirates are a faction, by the way. They're just a faction that starts out hating you. So
in order to make food, I would place a fridge, right? Like, what do I need to do to make this dining room functional?
So I think there's a total of 4 objects that you have to place. There's the fridge, the food counter, the oven, and the dish drop-off. So a cook big picture, what the cook does is they grab raw ingredients from the fridge. Then they process them at the food counter, so they chop them up or something, I don't know. Then they put it in the oven. Then they deliver it to the finished dish drop-off. And then the colonists pick up the food from the dish drop-off. And they go to the closest dish drop-off that's within something. I think you've made that refrigerator inaccessible, by the way, because you placed I think. Yeah, that's fine.
Cool.
I mean, I don't think the colonists could fit in. Maybe they could. I'm not sure.
Okay. Immediately, I always try and build things that look optimized. So I try and build things close together. Okay. Infrastructure wire. Let's see, we've got wires coming out to here. So if I run this way, then along here, that should give both of those power.
Yep.
And there we go.
Everyone's happy. So the fridge actually works if it's not powered. But when the fridge is powered, if you actually click on the fridge and you can look at its temperature, and its temperature should be 0 degrees Celsius, I think. You have to press P or L again. Yeah, it's 5 degrees Celsius. So the idea of the fridge is it has its own internal atmosphere. So food doesn't spoil. By the way, food spoils if it's left in a hot place. So your spaghetti becomes stale and then rotten.
So theoretically, I could have somebody in here now, and they would be able to get food, or
they could not get food. So you actually make raw food with a farm.
Okay.
And farm is some object somewhere. If you go to farm and food, you could go to object as well. It doesn't really matter.
Let's try and set something up. So I've got some unused space here, so delete wall.
And you built a death trap again.
Yeah, I built another death trap. I'm wondering if I accidentally deleted the cable.
It's actually funny how skinny that little window is when it's on the side like that. I never noticed that.
Yeah, I also built the fridge in front of a window.
That's funny.
Whoops.
It's a beautiful view.
Yeah. I mean,
it's aesthetically pleasing.
Back of a fridge. Maybe it's just like a false screen, like it's a false window.
Yeah, so those windows actually are supposed to be false windows, like from Resident Evil or something. So you could place them, deep in your station if you want to, and give the colonists sort of this small amount of comfort when they see them.
Yeah. So you just have like a beach on the outside of it.
Yeah.
So what do we need here to make the farm? Make it
if you click on farm and food, it's a button on the left side of the screen. It'll be grouped a little bit more logically. It's the top button. So you need a crop spot will be fine.
So several of these, I guess.
Yeah. So crop spot, they need fresh water and power. And then they also need a farmer to farm in them. And if you click on them, you can change which crop is grown in them. So right now we have wheat, tomato, potato, and carrots. There's a little drop down under main. The main tab, it's really little.
Gotcha. Wheat, tomato, carrot, and potato.
Obviously potato, because you can make vodka out of them.
It just doesn't want to select different ones.
So do they have any differences, or is it just basically visual?
So there actually are differences. Every crop requires, I'll look up the real numbers. Every crop has a unique amount of water that it needs, for instance, and a duration of growth, how much food it actually provides, and a nutritional value too. So we have a nutrition system where colonists need carbohydrates, proteins, and vitamins, with the idea being that you couldn't only feed your colonists, say, bread. Eventually they'd get fat. And I'm not just like, they would actually get fat in the game, and when they get fat, they have to sleep more and they move slower. But anyway, so the crops are actually different. And then you use raw food to make completed dishes out of them too. Mm-hmm. So depending on what recipes you want to make, you need different raw ingredients.
Trying to decide which floor I should put in here.
Why do you decide? Sorry, go ahead.
And then the water in crops too. When you put water in crops, a certain percentage of it is retained in the crops, and then the rest is sort of runoff that goes back to the water recycler. So basically a certain percentage of your water is going to be in your crops forever until colonists eat them. Once your colonists eat it, they internally get that water and it hydrates them a little bit. And then they go to the bathroom, they pee it out, and it goes back to your water recycler. So it's the circle of life. Water life, I guess.
I know that's going to make a lot of people really happy, because I know that there's other games in similar genres to this right now that have no like hygiene or like essentially toilet systems. Without mods anyway. So we need to get a lot of things in here. What's this top icon here?
The top icon, I think, if you click on the thing, it'll tell you. And then go to info. So it's lacking power, no piped input for water, no piped output for dirty water. So the top one, I think, is dirty water. So you need a water recycler, which is under infrastructure.
Build infrastructure. And that's a water recycler. Okay.
It's a beautiful little machine.
I feel like I should throw this in here. I don't know why, but it just seems logical. Although putting water recycler next to your power might not be a great idea. Could make this into a little room right here, and we could just completely destroy the reason for having those windows. Oh, poor windows. So let's do that. Build foundation. So currently we have the build foundation option. I'm kind of curious. I've started wondering while I've been building this. So is that going to be how we're going to build in a more final game, or is it?
Yeah, the final idea is that you couldn't just build a floor into space, because that would be nonsense and everybody would die. So the end state would be that you have to always place the foundation, and the foundation would come complete with whatever is required to actually build in space. And then build floor would essentially only be used to cosmetically change the look of the floor that you've already placed.
So we also have water storage here, and it's still telling me that I need water.
Yeah, so there's a few things that it's complaining about. The water storage tank stores your clean water. The water recycler stores your dirty water and also recycles it. And you have to connect those with pipes, like you did. And it's probably complaining that it's lacking resource because there's no dirty water right now available. And there's a grid that's used, so it doesn't really matter how you connect those objects. It'll all sort of work. I don't know if there's any way right now for you to get dirty water. So they will I think the colonists start with like 1,000 internal water, or they start with 0. If they start with 0, well, you won't be able to feed your colonists and they're all going to die, but that's okay. It doesn't matter. Whatever. Again, when you actually play the game, actually, I know a way you could get stuff. You could send them out. You could build a hangar, send them out on a mission to mine for ice. This is true. Send them on a mission to mine for ice. they'll go out, they'll come back eventually with ice, build a refinery, and they'll refine it, and then they'll go to their... That might work.
Okay.
Maybe.
So
or they'll go on the ship and they'll never come back, and everybody will die.
I mean, that wouldn't be that bad either, because then we'd just be back at square one and just build another set of colonists. You do have an unlimited supply of grunts. So.
And that's about it for episode 1 of our special coverage of Starmancer. So Tyler, now it's your chance to shout yourself out and tell people where to find more information about the game.
Yeah, thanks so much for sticking out and watching. So again, that was a really early build of Starmancer, currently live on Kickstarter. So you can go over there right now. You can get into our alpha, you can get into our beta. If you have any questions for us, feel free to ask on social media. You know, we have Twitter, we have Facebook, we have Google+. Seriously, thanks so much for just watching. It really means a lot.
And for our viewers and listeners, thanks for viewing and listening. If you have any comments, questions, suggestions whatsoever, we have a wonderful comment section. Feel free to use it. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.